So I'm so happy and grateful that Danielle talked about all this amazing stuff, which I'm totally on board with. The way that she put it together is just mind blowing. And I hope everybody re listens to this talk that she gave probably over and over because I took tons of notes and I'm still like, I know that. But the way she put it is really, amazing. And I think a big part of where people sometimes have those triggers of, are we enough in Chinese medicine? We often will say, you know, thinking like something's wrong with me. That part that we'll say from 0 to 8 years old is, as she was saying, that's when our subconscious kind of gets programmed because we don't really have a lot of control of our consciousness yet. We're like being led, but that time is also when we're the most psychic and connected to the spiritual realms. And we say that's the water cycle. Um, that we are born in the water cycle when energy is going down the back and up the front. And then when we get 8 years old or 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and somebody yells at us, we go like this and hold ourselves. And then it causes the fire cycle to start, which is down the front and up the back. That's the fire cycle in the microcosmic orbit. And we stay in that state until we get close to passing when we're very much older. And that energy of we're not as free, we're getting that programming from what's around us, but that part where there's any trauma or that really tense part that comes as we grow up, that's when the magic um, can die with some people. And that magic can be reinvigorated and brought alive. And what Danielle was talking about, um, getting on that higher part of the ladder, that really living well, no matter what kind of uh, money you have, the fuck you money that you can have that gets you at that level of, you're living passionately and happily in your life and not over stressing about money, which is probably the biggest stress other than divorce. Divorce is the highest stress on the index chart, which usually involves money as well. And what I just wanted to say about having a mirror, if you have a mirror handy, when we have the retreats, we give different kinds of little pocket mirrors as part of the swag when we're in person. And we look in the mirror, and if you know anything about affirmations, this is where we are retraining the brain and the subconscious, especially when we habit stack. So, if you know anything about the subconscious, right before you go to bed, right when you wake up, that's like a great time to retrain your subconscious, as well as when you're doing habits, like you're used to the habit of, you know, brushing your teeth in the morning. Great time to look in the mirror and do affirmations out loud or not out loud. I like to start with you and repeat what it is with I. So if I'm saying, you are important, I'm looking in my mirror, you are important, then I am important, so you really get that energy. You matter. I matter. Starting with that, like you're telling yourself, and then you're saying, I do matter. You know, um, I am a good person, starting it with you are a good person. I am, you're affirming it to yourself. You're talking to yourself and you're claiming that. So those are some of the ones for worth. You are important. I am important. You matter. I matter. You are a good person. I am a good person. And using the mirror is huge. If you know who Louise Hay is, she does a lot of mirror work. The other ones you can tweak. I am abundant. You are abundant. You have money flowing to you with grace and ease. I do have money flowing to me with great grace and ease. And I love my most favorite from Louise Hay was everything, um, or only good lies before me. So only good lies before you. Only good does lie before me. Everything is lining up for our highest good always. Every little thing. even though it might be challenging, even though it might be a little uncomfortable. We always say honor those uncomfortable moments in life because we don't want to create disease in our body. Uh, we honor what we're feeling. And if you work with me, you find out what emotions like anger relates to the liver. Impatience is my big one with the liver. Um, Expectations not met or depression relate to the heart. You know, honoring these feelings as they come up. Worry about money. Worry is also related to the spleen and stomach and a lot of women who are overweight. If you're worried a lot, guess what? That is raising your cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and it's harder to lose weight. It also causes inflammation. So we don't want that. We want to trust that everything's going to be okay. These uncomfortable emotions are acquired. They come after we're 8 years old. We're born with virtues like trust in the spleen, opposed to worry. We're born with patience and compassion in the liver, opposed to anger and frustration and impatience. And heart, we're born with joy, tranquility, and order. We're not born with the anxiety, nervousness, expectations not met, and to a greater uh, extent, the depression and despair. So, all these things are to say you can use the mirror and remind yourself, you know, do meditations or just mirror work of also inhaling trust into your left side and your spleen and exhale and let go of worry. You can do it with all the organs, breathing in the positive, exhaling the negative, or stick to the affirmations with your mirror and reminding yourself who you really are. And staying at that vibration in that higher space is where it's easier to do these tools. And yet we need to honor the uncomfortable emotions first. Otherwise, we stuff them and could create disease like cancer, like diabetes, like heart disease, all these things that happen in the physical tissues because cancer, because we have not honored those uncomfortable emotions and pulled the roots from the physical tissues. And all of this is about abundance and self worth. When we love ourselves and we really see our self worth, everything good follows. Good health, abundance in what we desire, wonderful people around us. And it's just as simple as looking in the mirror and reminding yourself who you really are. And my prompt for you is to now write a list of things that you've accomplished, 5 things in your life, and carry that around in your pocket. And we're in breakout rooms, we're going to tell the other person, and then the other person is going to announce it to you who you are, like you're coming on a stage and you've accomplished all this wonderful stuff. And that little list you're going to keep in your back pocket and remind yourself of who you are and all the value and wisdom you've gained in this lifetime. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this.